You have to reveal your secret to the world.
I am not a woman who enjoys repeating herself. Who are you?
I have many names. My people call me Kukungkan. But my enemies call me Namor.
Oh geez, I think that they got me fucked up. Please excuse my language, but let me explain, cause now we gotta fly.
Where do we even begin? Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. If I had to sum it up in a word, it would be boring. My little brother literally fell asleep, woke up, asked what happened, and then fell asleep again. This movie rounding off phase 4 of the MCU is the perfect metaphor. It is bloated, self-important, and uninteresting. The plot is incomprehensible, and the action scenes are repetitive and include very little tension or creativity. Granted, the two best parts of the movie are the very beginning and the very end tributes to Chadwick Boseman. But even then, you look at your movie ticket and you feel a little guilty that a multi-billion-dollar corporation is using a dead man to profit. In between the beginning and the end are product, and more Disney product. They lost me at the water bongos that opened the force field. Alright, so let's break it down. Our story starts with T'Challa dying off-screen from a quote-unquote virus of unknown origin. Might I point out, this is a very weird time to put something like this in the movie. Then the film time jumps to 1 year later with Wakanda being brought in front of the UN, where they're under pressure to share their vibranium with the rest of the world. Now, vibranium is a substance that literally brings people back from the brink of death. After real-world events like COVID or MCU events like the Snap, if a nation had such a life-saving resource that they just refuse to share with the rest of the world because they call them colonizers, they're kinda in the wrong. Meanwhile, the CIA and Navy SEALs hired Dr. Doofenshmirtz to help them come up with the ingenious name for their new technology, the vibranium detecting machine. The CIA gets attacked and killed while searching for vibranium by Namor. Namor. Namor then bypasses the Bongo Shieldmen and all of Wakanda's defenses for that matter, and sneaks right into the Queen's backyard, where he gives Queen Ramonda and Princess Shuri his terms. So, check it. He's mad at T'Challa for showing the world the power of vibranium, even though Captain Shield in 1941 was made of the same material. So he's either like, let me kill the scientists who created the vibranium detectorinator, or he's gonna kill everyone in Wakanda. Okay. Shuri and Okoye convinced their favorite colonizer to tell them who invented this vibranium detecting machine. And it turns out to be 19-year-old MIT student Riri Williams. And that brings us to this gem of an introduction to Iron Man's replacement.
For everyone to see. Hey, wanna see what you're drawing there?
Yeah, this is a working model for an energy source.
Okay, I see you, young genius.
You need to be conscious of the way that you look. Walking around here with that ash on your head.
Yeah, this is totally how fucking black people talk to each other. Shuri and Okoye were followed by Namor's warriors, who ultimately end up capturing Shuri and Riri. After threatening to kill all her people, Namor takes Shuri and gives her a tour of his underwater kingdom, Talokan. Namor was able to protect Talokan for centuries with his little feet wings, and he's bitter at the surface world for slavery or something like that. Namor proposes an alliance with Wakanda to kill everyone on the surface world, but if Shuri refuses, he'll do what? Yeah, you guessed it, kill everyone in Wakanda. During this time, Queen Ramonda asks Black Jarvis to track Shuri's vibranium beads, because evidently nobody thought of this at the time she was taken. Instead of using the literal hundreds of warriors at her disposal, Queen Ramonda travels to Haiti to seek out Nakia to help get Princess Shuri back. Nakia goes on a death-defying journey of asking a grand total of 2 questions to find the location of the princess and help Shuri and Riri escape, but kills a guard in the process. So Namor obviously has to retaliate, launching an attack on Wakanda, the quote-unquote strongest nation in the world. Somehow, they were able to sneak into the most advanced nation in the world, where they start singing Ed Sheeran, so the Wakandans start killing themselves. And this part I actually understood. In the ensuing struggle, Namor throws a Mr. Clean magic eraser bomb that ends up killing the queen. This leads to this super fucking cringe scene where Shuri is trying to give her mother CPR and Namor is flying outside of the window shouting his demands. This is awkward, disjointed, and by this point I was out of popcorn and ready to go home. After Queen Ramonda's funeral, Shuri remembers that Namor gave her a rare bracelet herb during the tour of his underwater nation. And of course, it was exactly what she needed to synthesize the heart-shaped herb. After ingesting this new herb and having an arm wrestling match with M'Baku, she's finally accepted as the new Black Panther. The Wakandans take the battle to Talokan, and the most powerful nation in the world, they go to war with a water-breathing nation on a boat. Because that makes sense. The final battle between Shuri and Namor is everything you expect Phase 4 Marvel to be. It involves a vibranium spear going through Shuri that has absolutely no effect on her, Namor forgetting he's literally 20 feet away from water, but still being dehydrated. And the classic good guy and bad guy get tired of fighting, so they forgive each other in the end. I'm like, what? Didn't this dude just kill your mom literally a couple of days ago? This movie is a mess and tries to hit the same marks as his predecessor, but ultimately falls short. The forgiveness T'Challa had for Zemo in Civil War made sense because he realized he had been duped into vengeance. It was believable and it made a good story. Wakanda Forever shows Namor threatened to kill Shuri's entire family at least 3 times. And then he does kill her mom, and she's just like, nah, like, it's all good. I've used this quote before, but I think it's relevant more here than ever. Malcolm X said, "The liberal is more deceitful and hypocritical than the conservative. They both want power, but the liberal has the perfect art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. The American Negro is nothing but a political football, and the liberals control this ball through tricks of tokenism and false promises of integration and civil rights." Disney's marketing was so successful for the first Black Panther movie that they convinced people that they were fighting racism by giving money to a multi-billion-dollar corporation. And when you look into the history of the Mouse Company, it's not like they've been the most inclusive company in the world. We're talking about Disney, the company who, to sell more tickets in China, covered Chadwick Boseman's face. They shrunk Finn on the poster of Star Wars because they don't like black people over there. They're celebrating Wakanda Forever by selling purple drink and chicken. These people aren't our friends. Everything isn't a political movement or statement. Sometimes the reason is as old as time, to make money. The passion for Wakanda was real, but the weaponization of it is unfortunate. People are called things like racist, sexist, and all kinds of phobes and isms simply for their opinions on a movie. The Mouse Company's decision to base their marketing on division and slander for its dissenters has only cemented the fact that there is no Black Panther, there is no Wakanda, and there is no more Marvel. There was only Disney.
I am him, ultra instinct, bitch, I'm going super saiyan. I can't trust an Android, my iPhone been ringing. I might go and cop another one, make my way to the Europeans, baby. I'll be back next week, only getting better every season. Just say la vie to my old girl. Okay, one more time, then I'm leaving. Peace and deuces, truth is, I can't